everyone, welcome back to Beauty in the Broken. My name is Heather and the purpose of this channel is to create and seek beauty wherever we can find it, sometimes especially in the middle of a mess. And so today it is a beautiful day, so I am in the open. So we just heard a car drive by, but I do enjoy the warmer weather, and I was listening to the birds singing right before I hit record, and sounds like we have another vehicle driving by, so please stand by. Okay. All right, so today what I'm going to do is, you've seen me use this mold before, and the last time I think is when I used the holographic film. Today I am going to do something a little bit different. We're going to use this sword dagger as I usually do. This one is my favorite, and it has the wings kind of like my logo. So we're going to go with that today. I am going to be using something a little bit different today. This is the Let's Resin metallic powders, and there's 5 colors in here, but we're going to use 2 of them today. I'll just show you all the colors. These are what we're going to use today. The 3 that we are not using comes with rustic gold, copper, and bronze. And I'm just going to put those away. And I am an affiliate for Let's Resin, and that link is in the description. If you would like to have any Let's Resin products, then you can click on that link. You can use that link, and there will be no additional charge to you, but the channel will earn a small commission. So today I'm going to do the blade of the dagger in silver, and I'm going to do the hilt in antique gold. Now, I don't know if you can see it. You might be able to see it. There's a little bit of staining in this mold. I used actually here it is. I used these gold gloss pieces to do one of them, and it looks really, really pretty. I did not film that one, but I will have to. I'll have to bring that maybe during the beauty reveal. But it left, the glass pieces were great, but they left a stain on the mold. That should not impact what we're going to do today, but I'm also going to take a piece of just regular old masking tape, and see, like we have a hair there, and just gently, you don't want to, I am just gently pushing it down. I'm not really scratching it with my nails, just gently pushing it down to get rid of any glitter or anything that may be in your mold, because anything that's in there obviously is going to end up on your piece. And I will throw that away. And let's start with the blade. And with this, all I'm going to do is coat. I'm going to use 2 different brushes. So I have a flat brush, and then I have a rounded, more pointy brush to get into the smaller areas. And I'm just going to take some on my brush and coat the mold. You can see that's giving a nice, fine, solid finish. And I'm going to get into the tip there and go all the way up the side. And that can be your choice. You can do just the bottom, and then the silver will just be on the bottom of your finished piece. But if you want the whole piece to look silver, then you need to do the sides as well. And I will probably speed this up in the final video, but you can also just put it on 2 times so that you don't have to watch every single brush stroke. So you can see, like I'm running my finger underneath, you cannot see any empty spaces. If we look there, that looks pretty solid. Here comes another car, but that's pretty solid now. All right, so now I'm going to turn that around. You know, let me make this just a little more definitively, try and get that as straight as possible. Okay. Now I am putting the lid back so there's no accidental spillage. And then just going to wipe it off on a paper towel. I also noticed that there is a little bit of the silver where I am going to want to paint the gold. So I'm taking another piece of masking tape. All right, that actually might be permanently there. We will see when I unmold it. All right, so here is where I am going to end up using the smaller brush, but I am going to start with the larger one with the antique gold. And again, I will be quiet during this part and probably speed it up in post, or you can fast forward. Okay, so now we want to check and make sure. It does look a little thin right there at the join of the gold and the silver. So I'm just going to make sure. I'm going to go over top. Now, not to worry if we get a little bit of gold in to where the blade, the silver blade should be, because whatever touches the surface first is what's going to show. Okay, so that looks a lot more solid now. Now the other thing that we want to check is, can't really get my fingers down in here, but to check to see that all of the corners have been hit with at least one of the colors. Now, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't, because it just means that you'll see the black will show through. Oh, there's a spot I missed right there. And if this ends up, what we're seeing at the top here ends up being the bottom, then it won't matter because you won't see it. Maybe the edge up there. And look one more time at this side here. All right, so that is pretty solid. Again, the worst thing that can happen is a little black shows through. Okay, so I am going to turn this off for a bit, go mix up some black resin, and I will be back to pour the resin into the mold. See you in a minute. All right, welcome back. I have mixed up my resin. And yes, I wore gloves while I was mixing it up, and I have them right here. We're gonna get those gloves on. And all right, so I wanted to show you a couple things. First, I found that dagger that I made with the gold. That is what that's what left the gold stains in there. Whatever they used to paint the glass pieces leached onto my mold. But I put a hanger on that, and that would make a really pretty wall hanging. And that is in my Ko-fi store. And okay, it's good. Gotta love resin. All right, so I have mixed up about 5 ounces of resin here. And I came to that number because I know that I use approximately 3 ounces of resin when I made that bigger dagger. And let me show you how I figured this out. I mentioned it in a previous video, like when I did the druzy. So this is just a small one, but if I turn it on and wait till it gets to 0 ounces, and then I made one of the smaller daggers. So if I place that there, it's 0.4 ounces. And I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, that is how much it weighs. So that's how much resin I am going to use in that mold. Okay. And today I am using the Europo resin, 1-to-1 resin. And I think in the last video I called it Euro Pro, but it is actually YOROPO resin. All right. And since I know I need about 3 ounces for that, I am going to decant a little bit more than 3 ounces. This is you can barely see it. It's 100 milliliters, which is a little more than 3 ounces. And so I'm going to decant into that because I purposely made a little bit more resin as I have another project to finish on the side, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So let's just get it just under 100 milliliters because I need to mix in the black. So I'm going to put that over there. But I saved a little bit of this resin to do, I don't know if you saw that video or not, but I can link it in the cards for you. I take these bookmarks, and you can see that's glossy right there because I put the resin on that to kind of seal in the paint and to make a glossy bookmark. So that's what I'm using the rest of the resin for after I turn the camera off. If you want to see how I did that, then I will, like I said, I will link that up in the cards. So I'm going to move that off to the side so we don't have any accidents with that, and get out my black mica powder. Take a generous scoop. Make sure you can still see that. I think I'm going to put a little bit more in. Maybe not 2 full scoops, maybe like there. Okay. Put the lid back on there. Again, we don't want any accidents. Grab my stir stick. And because this is now so full, it will be a very slow mix. But this part of the video should actually be very quick because all I'm going to do is pour this, once mixed, pour it into the dagger, the sword, whatever you would prefer to call it. I realize that I believe, and I'm sure somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the size, that a sword is a longer weapon and that a dagger is a much shorter weapon. So in this case, I guess if you look at this mold, we have larger ones and we have smaller ones. So maybe the larger ones are the swords and the smaller ones are the daggers, if we go by that logic. This is getting mixed in here. I may have put too much, at least for this container. Definitely gets harder to mix when you're close to the top, when you're close to being full. And I'm also going to, pretty sure I will have enough resin because I just need a couple drops. In my druzy video, the purple alcohol ink did not work very well. And someone commented that perhaps I should try backing the druzy ribbon with some black resin. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. It's not going to save the bottle of really bad purple ink, but it might make that ribbon look a little nicer. So I am going to do that as soon as I'm done with this. And this is now mixing in very well. I'm going to scrape my stick to make sure there's no powder left on the stick. Okay, now just scrape that in. All right, now I don't want to squirt alcohol in this particular one because we've already put the powders down, the gold and silver powders. So I don't want to squirt it with alcohol ink to potentially put spots on it. So now I'm just going to drip all over the mold. There we go. Here we go. Just let that flow in there. Now you will see some of the gold and silver powders rising up. That does not mean that we will not have full coverage. And it will not negatively impact the front of our sword. Okay, I'm going to stop there. All right. Does look like we're going to need a little more in there. So I'm just going to hold this over here in case it drips. All right, let's see. Let's see how full that is. All right, that is definitely doming. Well, it's doming there. Actually, I think that is really pretty with the amount of powder that has come up. Now, even though this was leveled, it does seem to be moving. All right, let's see. Just another drop up there. All right, is that a bubble? bubble or a piece of mica? I think it was a piece of mica. All right. I'm going to keep an eye on that because, like I said, it was leveled, but it does seem to be moving a little bit more toward the bottom. Okay. Now I am going to get the torch, move these out of the way, and just give it a little torch. Unlock it, give it a little bit of a torch. Now, don't want to get too close. This is a thinner mold, so it could, we do not want to burn it. We don't want to melt. Don't want to melt the mold. Okay, I'm gonna lock that for safety. And this mold is definitely moving, so I'm gonna grab a pop stick. Stick it gently under here. Raise that up just a bit. Let's see. That might be just enough. Okay, and I do see a little overflow on the end there, so grab a baby wipe. Wrap that around my finger a little tighter there. And remember, you want to push the resin toward the center. Get another. I think I pushed it back out. Okay. And while I'm here, I might as well. Sorry, I just crossed the camera with my glove there. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take that extra resin that I had. Let's see if I can move the camera we'll move it over just a little bit so you can see that better. And I'm going to use this. Okay, let's move it a little closer. There we go. And I'm going to drizzle it on with this stick and then use that silicone piece to spread it out. And I don't want it to be too much because I don't want it to go over the sides. I just want to back it. Let's see if that's enough. I don't know that this is solid enough. Should have used a pigment paste. But I think we'll get the idea. Just want to move it gently over to the edge. Yep, it's not solid enough. You should have used a pigment paste instead. Let me bend down and see if I missed any spots. Nope. There it is. So that does have I'm sorry, now you're getting a glare. You know, we have the bright, nice sunshine, nice warm sunshine, and it's not showing the colors properly. Let me see if I can, I apologize in advance for the jiggle. Let's see if that helps. Well, I just turned on a studio light and it didn't help. All right. Well, that is it for me then. I think I will be back for the demold, and we'll see you in a minute. Bye. Hi everyone. Welcome back to the beauty reveal. Okay, so let's look at this one first. And as I mentioned in the last video, it really needed a pigment paste and not a mica powder. So it still looks the same on the front, and it has a very thin layer of black on the back. But yes, a pigment paste would have done a much better job in covering that. So maybe I'll try that on another one. So we move that one over to the side. And then I did have some extra left over. So I don't know how many people want a black Christmas ornament, but I had some snowflakes and I just thought that was really pretty. So I added some snowflakes in. There's nothing really to reveal on the other side because it's just black. But there is the back of the ornament and the sparkly, I like the holographic effect on the snowflakes. So there we go. Now, what we're all waiting for is this one. Let's see how this comes out. Oh, we have a little bit of overflow. Oh, that popped right off. Perfect. There's a little overflow in the wings. I really do like the pattern that the powder made. So pretty. And it looks like I ended up with a bubble there, but that's not that big of a deal. A little bit of overflow in the wings. Just picks right off. This one will have to be, we'll have to cut that part off. But all right. So there's the gold that surfaced. There's the silver that surfaced. But this is the back. This is the back of it. So are you ready? Let's flip it over. Oh, look at that beautiful silver and gold up there. There, look at that. I guess with these videos we do have to do this sideways, so fitting it all in. Let's see if I hold it here and then move the camera. Let's see. Take the camera back. See if I can get the whole thing in. There it is in all its shiny glory. There, that is really, really pretty. Well, there you go. That was short and sweet. But there is our gold and silver sword. Love it. It's gorgeous. Okay, my usual reminder, go out there and seek beauty. It is always there if you look for it. Until next time, bye-bye.